I'm really sorry, I think just, there was some trouble within the laptop today. So we just had to delay this session. Yep. So I think people are joining in. Let's just start in next 2 minutes so that I guess people would be wondering that the session will start at 6. So let's just start in next 2 minutes. Okay. I guess all the people will be in till that time. Okay, so class, shall we start now? In the meantime, other people will join it till the time we go ahead with this session. Okay, so like, yesterday, I think, there was some network trouble that happened while we were doing the proc meets. So what I'll do is I'll probably continue from there. So before that, if I go on to that, anyone who would like to ask any of the questions? I mean, like yesterday we were studying about the data merge, right? How we combine the data sets and we understood the different kind of joins and how do they work in the SAS, right? How do you combine the different data sets together? So this is something that we did yesterday. So now, I mean, if you have any questions, I can definitely take that up and then I can move ahead. Okay. So I assume no questions since I do not see much of any activity on the chat. Okay, so yesterday what we were doing was we started doing the proc me. So what I'll do is I'll repeat that up one more time. Okay, so like we studied few of the procedures like proc print. We did a procedure proc sort. We did proc format, proc contents. So these procedures are used for a specific kind of a purpose, right? So we started with, so similarly we have some more procedures with us. Like one of them is proc means. Okay, now proc means is something that okay, so Mohsin, you are saying you are still having some troubles for sorting ones. Okay, see for sorting, what you have to do is you have to write. So I think we didn't wrote any of the code yesterday for sorting. No, we did that. So proc sort. So we did that. So I can just share this up with you. So I'm just sharing the complete code of yesterday. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will start with proc means. Now, proc means is a very straightforward procedure that we have, which is used to see the descriptive statistics on your data set, right? Now, descriptive statistics that we find, they are something that can be only found, or, you can only calculate them on your numerical fields, right? If you have the numerical columns, only on those fields you can do your descriptive statistics, right? When we say mean, median, mode, standard deviation, right? Your range, everything that you find out. So that is something that can only be found on your numerical fields, right? So this proc means is a procedure that gives you all that statistics right at a click. So if I say proc means data is equals to DSP-55 dot crew, right? This was the dataset that we used yesterday as well, and I'll simply run it. The moment you run this, what will happen is, so whatever the fields are there, the fields that are numeric in that data set. So this is the crew data set. So we have two fields which are numeric. One is hire date and another is salary. So what it will do is it will give you the statistical summary on those two fields. So let us take a look at this. So hire date and salary. N is your the number of rows, your mean value, your standard deviation, minimum and maximum. So these are the outputs that you get. But definitely hire date is something on which you will not like to see any of that statistical summary, right? Because date, although SAS saves it as in the form of a numeric, but technically date is not a field which we would like to see the mean and everything on that. So what you can do is you can anytime control your variables as well. So if you want to say that you only want to see this summary on one of the variables, that is salary, so you just need to mention where salary. Now the output that you will get, in that output you will only get the output for salary column, not the other ones. So you see now you have got that same statistics, but only for one variable, that is salary. Okay. Now, apart from these, right, by default, what you are getting in the output is you are getting count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. If you want to see some other statistics, for example, you want to see, quartiles, right? Q1, Q2, you want to see the sum, you want to see, suppose the median, right? So, like that is Q2 only, basically, if I say, so median is something we can skip off, right? So, if you want to see those quartiles, so you can just mention them over here at the top next to this data set. So now what will happen is it will only show you these three statistical things in the output. So let me execute it. Something wrong. Sorry, Q1, Q3, and median. Okay. So now if you see, I have got the lower quartile, upper quartile, median, and the sum. So if you want any of these also, you will have to mention them in your board itself, right? If you want to see the mean also, you will have to kind of mention it over here. So it will give you the mean as well. Okay. Now, over here, you also have a feature where you can print how many number of missing values does that column has. If you write n miss, this means number of missing values. So if there will be no missing value, so definitely it will come as blank. I mean as NA. So you see this is coming as 0. So number of missing values, they are 0 in that particular column of salary. So you can quickly find those summary over here on the basis of data. Okay, is this clear to everyone? Perfect. Okay. Now what you can do is, like all these statistics that we have found, right? So these Q1, Q3 median, or if you write the simple proc means also, right? Even if I write this proc means, so if I simply write this up over here, and let me remove this. Okay, now what I'm doing over here is I have simply written the proc means over here, nothing additional. And let us see the output. So the same output will be printed. Now what I want to do is this mean, the standard deviation that you have figured out, this is something that is being calculated on the entire column of salary. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to achieve this output, but over there I want a slight change the way I want to see this output. So if you see this dataset crew, okay, I have a location. I have a column of location. I want to see this statistical summary based upon location. Like for example, in London, what was the mean salary, average salary in London? What was the median salary, or what was the minimum salary, maximum salary, location wise? Okay. So instead of getting that output on that entire column, I would like to see that output on the basis of column of location. Okay, so for each location I should get that summary differently. So what you can do is you can add a function that is class, and you will mention that variable. So class location. So the moment you add this, now if you will see your output, it will be divided on the basis of different locations that you have. So for carry, total number of observations, and then what is the mean for carry, what is the standard deviation for carry, likewise minimum and maximum. Then you have for the same the information for Frankfurt and London as well. Okay. Yes, so the function of actually, so function of class is to bifurcate on that what are the different values that you have in it. It is used for that. Okay. Sure, Aman, don't worry. So you just logged in. So I'll just repeat it for you. See, we have just started with that yesterday's session only, like where we left off. So we just started like 5-7 minutes before. So I was explaining the proc means. Okay. In the proc means, like if you remember from yesterday, what we did was when you use proc means, it gives you the output. It gives you the basic statistical summary where you get the output in the format of count of rows, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum, right? This is what the output you get. So it by default picks up all the numerical columns that you have in your data set, and it will give you that statistical information based upon that. Now, if you want to just have that statistical summary for a selected columns, right? You just want to have that for selected columns. You can mention that where salary. Okay, I will mention where salary over here. Now, if I run this, I'll get this output only for one variable. That is salary. Right now, I'm not getting this hire date over there because hire date is also a numeric field. But since I mentioned I want it only for salary, so I get that output just for the salary field now. Okay. Now the next thing that we did in this was I added a column of class. What is class? Basically, right now all that summary which we are getting, we are getting it on the basis of complete column of salary, right? जो पूरा salary का column है, उसके basis पे वो पूरे के basis पे minimum, maximum और average और standard deviation calculate कर रहा है. Now what I want to achieve is कि मुझे हर location के लिए अलग से summary चाहिए. कि लंदन का मुझे अलग से मीन मिनिमम मैक्सिमम चाहिए, फ्रैंकफर्ट का अलग से चाहिए और कैरी का अलग से चाहिए. So for that what I will do is I will just say class location. So you will get that output bifurcated on the basis of location. Okay. Okay, so now we will take a look at another procedure. Okay, the procedure that we will now use is the proc frequency. Okay, we have another useful procedure that we have, and that is proc frequency. Now what does this frequency does is, it is what is frequency, right? If you if whenever you hear this term frequency, what do we understand by this? What is frequency? Yes, class. Repetition, or you can call it as count, right? I can call it as a count as well. Okay, frequency is just a count that you have. Like if you would have seen, you would have created that histogram charts, right, in your R, Python, everywhere. So what does that histogram chart shows? It shows you the count. How many people do you have in the age group of 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, right? That is what that histogram chart shows you. Now, similarly, the same is the concept over here, but we will not be creating a chart. But instead, this frequency is something that will be used to see the natural count. So proc freq is something that gives you 4 things in the output. One is count, then you have cumulative count, then you will get count percentage, and then you will get cumulative count percentage. These are the 4 things that you will get in the output. Okay, so what is cumulative count? What do we understand by cumulative count? Right. So basically, yeah. So it is like, you know, some of all like continuous addition, correct? So which is yours is like, if I go, say for example, I am counting like say suppose on day 1 I had a sale of 100 rupees. On day 2 I had a sale of 150 rupees. So cumulative sale will be day 1 plus day 2, right? On day 1 it is 100. On day 2 cumulative sale will be 100 plus 150. That gives me 250. And on day 3 I had more sale of 100 rupees. So my cumulative sale becomes 350, where I keep on adding the previous number into it. So that is something that we understand by the cumulative count. And same is the concept of the percentage as well. Okay. So now, you know, when you use proc frequency, okay, when you use this proc frequency, what happens over there is proc freq, this procedure, it will pick all the variables. ओके आपके उस डेटा सेट में जितने भी वेरिएबल्स होंगे उन सबको वो पिक कर लेगा और उनके ऊपर आपको काउंट देना स्टार्ट कर देगा, राइट? एंड इट डिस्प्लेस, अब वो क्या करेगा, हर कॉलम में से एवरी कॉलम, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम क्रियो डेटा सेट की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो पहले हायर डेट पे आएगा, वो हर एक डेट की यूनिक वैल्यू पिक करेगा और वो चेक करेगा कितनी बार उसका काउंट आ रहा है आपके डेटा सेट में. फिर वो लास्ट नेम को पिक करेगा, लास्ट नेम में हर नेम को चेक करेगा कितनी बार आ रहा है उसमें, राइट? अगर हर नाम एक ही बार आ रहा है तो इट विल गिव यू द काउंट एज 1. सेम विल हैपन विद द फर्स्ट नेम, लोकेशन, लाइकवाइज. तो यही सेम चीज आपकी सारे वेरिएबल्स के साथ उसको चेक करेगा. ओके, नाउ व्हाट वी विल डू इज, plus it also gives you how many missing values are there in that particular column. If there are any missing values, it will give you that count as well. So let us try this. I will say proc freq data equals to crew. I am using the same data set and run. Nothing much, सिर्फ उसको सीधा सीधा रन किया मैंने. So by default क्या करेगा, आपके सारे variables pick कर लेगा. Okay, so sorry, library we forgot to mention DSP-55 dot crew. If I'll run this, जब इसका आउटपुट जो आएगा ना बहुत बड़ा आएगा, राइट? बिकॉज आपका हर वेरिएबल यहाँ पे पिक होगा, हर वेरिएबल यहाँ पे पिक होगा और उससे चेक करके बताएगा आपको कितना काउंट उसमें आ रहा है, राइट? सो लाइक इट स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम हियर. सबसे पहले उसने आपका पिक किया कॉलम हायर डेट. ये वाली जो डेट थी 14 जन 1980, वो आपके रिपोर्ट में आपके डेटा में एक ही बार आ रही है, ठीक है? फिर यहाँ पे उसका क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी देखो आप यहाँ पे, राइट? जस्ट सी द टू थिंग्स ओवर हियर. Over here you are getting the frequency and over here you are getting the cumulative frequency. तो ये 1 था, 1 1 1 हर जगह पे 1 जा रहा है और यहाँ पे cumulatively ऐड होता हुआ चल रहा है. 1 plus 2 3 4 5 6 ये cumulatively ऐड हो रहा है डेटा आपका, और ये आपका परसेंटेज दे रहा है आपको, राइट? व्हाट इज परसेंटेज? परसेंटेज इज टोटल में से 1 डिवाइडेड बाय ओवरऑल टोटल. तो ये आपका उसका परसेंटेज कितना हुआ, 2.08. अब यहाँ पे क्यूमुलेटिव परसेंटेज आ रहा है आपका, राइट, वेयर यू कैन सी बेसिकली दैट कि आपका जहाँ पे 1 था दैट इज 2%, जहाँ पे 2 आया दैट बिकेम योर दिस 4.17, 6.25 लाइकवाइज, और जैसे आप लास्ट रो में पहुंचोगे इट विल बिकम 100% ओवर देयर. Okay, it will become 100% over there. So if I come down, so you can see cumulative percent उसका last में आके 100 हो गया. Then it picked up the next variable that was last name, और उसने हर नेम को काउंट करना स्टार्ट कर दिया. फिर उसने फर्स्ट नेम को पिक किया, फिर उस पर सबका काउंट देना स्टार्ट कर दिया. फिर लोकेशन पिक किया ना. लोकेशन इज अ वेरिएबल दैट इज मेकिंग सेंस, राइट, कि अगर मैं उसको क्रू के मेंबर्स को देखूं, सो 18 of the crew members are going to Kerry, 14 of the crew members are going to Frankfurt, and 16 of the members are going to London. Right now, over here on this location, my frequency count makes sense. Because first name pe, last name pe, or date pe, it was all different. So it was not of any use. Same happens over here, phone number. A phone number bhi sabka different hoga, right? So that is why you are getting these also as 1 everywhere. Same goes for that employee code. Then you have job code. अब जॉब कोड के ऊपर अगेन इट मेक सेंस कि कितने फ्लाइट अटेंडेंट 1 है, कितने फ्लाइट अटेंडेंट 2 हैं, कितने फ्लाइट अटेंडेंट 3 हैं, और कितने पायलट 1 है. सो इट इज मेकिंग मोर सेंस ओवर हियर व्हेन वी आर यूजिंग इट ऑन दिस. ओके, सो नाउ डेफिनेटली इन योर प्रॉक फ्रीक्वेंसी आल्सो यू कैन कंट्रोल कि आपको कौन से वेरिएबल आउटपुट में देखने हैं. बाय डिफॉल्ट उसने सारे वेरिएबल शो कर दिए. You can control that which all variables do you want to see. So in order to do that, what we will be doing is we will be using a command that is tables. I'm just sharing my screen. Sorry, just a moment. Okay. So what I'll do in this is now, since I do not want to see all the columns in the output, so यहाँ पर हम जो अपना उसको variables को select करने के लिए command use करेंगे, it will not be var, it will be tables. So you will have to write tables. मुझे सिर्फ count देखना है job code का और मुझे देखना है location का. So I can mention that thing over here. Okay. So now it will give you in the output only these two variables. So proc frequency, it gives you the output just for job code and location. Okay. Please try this out, all of you. Let me show you that code. Are you all trying it? Okay. Now, there is a small option that you can all use in this, that is n levels. Okay, so n levels stands for number of levels in a particular column, right? What do I mean by this is this like you have your column of location. Okay, like you have a column of location. So in location column, how many levels you have? You have 3 levels. In column of the basically this job code, you have 4 levels. Basically, how many distinct values that you have, that is what we understand by this term levels. Okay, so if you want to print that also into the output, what you can do is in the code that you would have written, you just mention over there as n levels. If you will write this over there, if you will write n levels, what will happen is, let us see the output. See, it is telling you at the top that in job code you have 4 unique values, in location you have 3 unique values. Okay, you can quickly figure that out, unique values in that particular variable. So if you remember, if you just try to recollect, till now we haven't seen anything that if I have to see distinct values in a particular column, so how will I see it, right? So I will be seeing that with the help of frequency procedure. Now, if suppose, so you can just write this, try this out first, then I'll come to that part. Okay. Now, in case you want to see the output, and the output is a little different. Say suppose you only want to see this information, but you do not want to see this information. Okay, you do not want to see this information over here. So how will you achieve that? Okay, because there could be a requirement, you would like to see what are the different unique values that you have in each column. So in that case, what you will be doing is you will just have to add over here a command that is no print. You will say no print. That means the data for that cumulative count, everything should not be printed. So let us execute this code and let us see the output now. So if you see now, I have just got the levels over here. I have not got that remaining rest of the data. Yes, Agriti. So n levels can only be used with the proc frequency. You will not be able to use it with any other procedure. Now in this proc frequency, what you can do is you can also create some cross reports. Okay, you can create your cross reports. Now, what do I mean by cross report? Cross report means right now what is happening is in your data set, what you are getting is, oh yes, so that has to be used with backslash. So yeah, Aman, I'll share the code. Just give me a moment. So this backslash is mandatory, otherwise you will get an error in that case. And if suppose, like in this code, what I have done is I have just seen the levels of 2 variables. Okay, now suppose there was a requirement कि आपको सारे variables के अंदर देखने की किस variable में कितनी unique values हैं. So what you will do is you will remove this location, the variable names, and you can write underscore all underscore. So इससे क्या होगा, आपके number of levels हर variable के लिए print हो जाएंगे. So you can see hire date में 48 यूनिक वैल्यूज हैं, लास्ट नेम में 48 हैं, फर्स्ट नेम में 48 हैं, लोकेशन में 3, फोन में 45, एम्प्लॉय आईडी 48, जॉब कोड 4 और सैलरी 28. So you can see all those values coming as हर वेरिएबल के लिए उसने आपके नंबर ऑफ लेवल्स प्रिंट कर दिए दिया होगा. So instead of writing the the variable names, I have simply written all underscore all underscore. So I'll share this as well. Now I was discussing about cross reports. Okay, so cross reports are like, for example, यहाँ पे भी जो हमारा output आया था, right? The previous output that we were taking a look at, it was giving me the count for each value कि location में carry की कितनी values हैं, Frankfurt की कितनी values हैं और London की कितनी values हैं. Say suppose my requirement is कि मुझे हर location में count करने हैं कि कितने pilots हैं, कितने flight attendants हैं. Okay, this is what my requirement is. मुझे जो count चाहिए, I want this count on the basis of the basically your location versus the job code. Okay, कि कितने pilot 1 है, कितने flight attendant 1 है, कितने flight attendant 2 हैं in the different locations. So how we will see that output? So let us take a look at it. So I will just have to write this same code. There is a slight change that we will have to make, where I am writing this over here tables. I say I want to see the report between job code, and you will put an asterisk sign and put location. Okay, that means job code versus location. So this is what you want to see in the output. So now take a look at it. So your output is little different, but you can see आपका top पे आपकी location आ रही है और यहाँ पे आपकी job code आ रहे हैं, right? So carry में आपके 5 flight attendant 1 है, carry में आपके 7 flight attendant 2 हैं, right? 5 flight attendant 3 हैं, then you have 1 person who is a pilot. ऐसे फ्रैंकफर्ट में 2 पायलट हैं, राइट? लंदन से 2 पायलट हैं, एंड यू हैव द ओवरऑल टोटल दैट यू कैन सी इन दिस आउटपुट. सो यू कैन सी द ओवरऑल टोटल एज वेल, एंड ऑल द 4 नंबर्स आर कमिंग ओवर हियर. ये आपका पूरा का पूरा आपको दिखा रहा है कि फ्रीक्वेंसी कितना है, रो परसेंटेज कितना है, रो परसेंटेज और कॉलम परसेंटेज, राइट? दिस इज द कॉलम परसेंटेज एंड दिस इज द रो परसेंटेज. So please create this and take a look at it. Are you able to understand this output? Anyone having any doubts on this? Okay, shall I move ahead? Okay, so now this output that you are generating, if I'll just copy this up, okay, I'm again printing it. अभी आप जो output देख रहे हो, right? This output that is coming right now in front of you, it is in the form of a table. Okay, आपका एक क्रॉस टेबुलर फॉर्मेट में ये आउटपुट आपको दिखाई दे रहा है कि यहाँ पे सारी जॉब कोड्स हैं और यहाँ पे आपके सारे लोकेशन. We can actually change this look and feel as well a little bit. If you just put a slash, okay, and you write cross list, अब इसका के क्रॉस लिस्ट डाल दोगे तो ये आपका जो आउटपुट है इट विल कम इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ लिस्ट टाइप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर. So just put that cross list and run it, and let us see the output now. Oops. Yeah. So if you see now this output that you see, आपका यहाँ जॉब कोड आ रहा है, उसके आगे सारी लोकेशंस आ रही है. फिर दूसरा जॉब कोड आ रहा है, उसके आगे सारी लोकेशन आ रही है, राइट? Then again जॉब कोड आ रहा है, उसके आगे सारी लोकेशन आ रही है. So it is coming in the format of a list and not in the form of a table. So just the view has changed, but the information is the same. Okay, class, clear to all of you? Yeah, so you can generate this output in the form of an HTML, Jatin. So that you can do, and in the JPEG format also you should be able to do it. I'll have to check it once that what will be the exact way of doing it. So, but there will be a way of extracting it into the JPG as well. But अगर आप इसको HTML में करते हो or you do it in the PDF format, then also it will work, right? PDF also it will give you the correct the table structure over there. Okay, so this is now what you have in the proc frequency, right? Simple procedure which gives you the count and you can change the views according to your requirement. Now the next procedure that we will do is that is the proc report. Okay, we have another procedure which is an interesting one, that is the proc report. Okay, so proc report is actually a procedure that is somewhat similar to what you have in your proc print. Okay, जो proc print procedure है, it is similar to that only. It is just that proc print will give you a little more flexibility in terms of handling the report. Okay, it can with the help of proc report you can create a summary report, you can create cross tabular reports. If you want to show some grand totals, you can do that. You can use automatically, labels can be used over here in the proc report. So there are certain features that you have in the proc report. So let us try to explore this. Okay, so once you will see the output, you will be able to relate to it, that how this proc report is working. So what we will do is let us just run this on the crew data set. I am saying proc report data equals to DSP-55 dot crew. So if you see the output, exactly similar thing you get in the proc print also, right? This is the same output that you get in the proc print. It is just that उसमें आपको एक observational column extra मिलता है, right? OBS column that you get, but that OBS column is not coming over here. Okay, if you will see जितनी भी आपकी numeric values हैं, they are right aligned and your character values are left aligned, and the output is shown to you in the same order in which it is stored in that data set. जिस order में आपका data set saved है, उसी exact same output में, in the same way this output will be shown to you. Okay, now what we'll do is let us try to control this thing. Say suppose I only want to see selected variables out of this. आपको सारे variables print नहीं कराने. I only want to print selected variables. Okay, so for that proc print में हम क्या use करते हैं? If I want to see only selected variables, what do we use in that case? Where, right? So you use where over there. But in the proc report, you use the function that is column. You will say column and you will define which all columns do you want to see in the output. So suppose I only want to see job code, I want to see the salary, and we can say the location as well. These are the variables that I want to see in the output. So let us run this. So now it will print only these three variables to me. Yeah, Mohsin, you can do that in the Excel as well. You can export the data in your Excel file as well. That is doable. So Akriti, proc report is like we are doing it for the first time only. So it is something new topic. So proc report is exactly the same stuff that the proc print does. It is just that it has a little more flexibility in terms of using and the way the output is shown. Okay. So please all try this out. Let me know if you have any doubts on this.
So I have a doubt. Like I'm still not getting that. What is the difference between both? As you are saying that it is giving you more flexibility, but how?
So I'll be telling you that. So we just started it up. Okay, so we'll be coming on. We'll just be coming on to that. Okay. So now you see, in this procedure report that we have done. So now suppose, for a particular variable, right? Like variables that we have, if I have to define the format and if I have to define some, the labels and all. So for that, what you have to do is you have to define each and everything individually, right? So over here now, say suppose this columns that I have, job code, location, and salary. Say suppose I want to apply some formatting, I want to apply some labels and all. So what I can do is I simply need to define the name of the column, that is job code. Okay, say suppose I am applying a format on it, that is width equals to 8. Width equals to 8 means I will want to keep eight characters in that. I want to give it a label, that is job code. Okay, what I've done is I've given a label as well. See, in one single line itself, I have defined everything. That job code width should be 8 and the label should be a job code onto this. See, I didn't have to do much of the effort on this. Otherwise, what we have to do is we have to write it separately. Format job code width equal to 8, right? Or then you will say label job code equals to job code. You have to keep on repeating that variable again and again for the different kind of formatting, labels, or anything that you have to do onto the data set for doing that stuff, right? Now I pick up another variable, say suppose that is salary. So I will say I want to define salary, where what should happen is I want to apply a format, that is format of equal to, say suppose I want to print the salary in the dollar format, $15.2. Okay, this is a format that I want to apply. If you want to give the label also, you will write it over here itself, employee salary. Okay, now this is the second variable that I have defined. Say suppose you have location, the location that I was using. So I will say define location, and I want to give just a label only, right? Say suppose the uh, location, as in say suppose home location, right? That is the home location of this. So now if you see, I've just defined everything in one single line for all the different variables. And now let us execute it. So you see now the output has come up with all the formats and all the labels being applied. Okay. Now, if I ask you, right, so now the next thing that you will see over here, that is where you will actually be able to understand that, yes, this is where the real flexibility comes in. Okay, now if suppose the data that I have printed, okay, this output that I have printed, I want to sort this data on the basis of job code, right? I want to print this output to be sorted on the basis of job code. So how will I achieve that in the proc print? How will I achieve it in the proc print? Proc sort, correct? First of all, what you will do is you will sort the data by using proc sort, and then you will proc print the data, right? There are two steps that you will actually have to apply in order to get the sorted data into the output, right? So somewhere you will have to create additional data sets, and then you will be able to achieve it. But with this proc report, it is fairly simple. You just have to define order over here. Okay. Now what you will do is, if I write, I want the data to be sorted on the basis of, say, suppose job code, I will write order over here. Now, if you will notice, by default, it is ascending. Let us just print this and check it out. Right. So if you see now, I am getting flight attendant 1, flight attendant 2, flight attendant 3, right? It is coming in this sorted order now. Every data is coming in the perfect sorted way. It is not coming like I didn't have to sort it first and then come up with that thing over here. So I was able to do it right away. And this order, when you use it, just suppresses the repetitive values. So it is an automatic feature that it suppresses that repetitive values that you will be getting. Sure. Let me just share this. Just try to now just sort the data on the descending order of salary. Now change the code and just sort the data in the descending order of salary. So what change you will have to make? So if you will come over here, you will just have to write order statement in the salary, that you want the data to be ordered by this salary. And then what you will do is you want it to be descending. So it will come over here. Okay. Sorry, you don't have to repeat that salary again. It is already written. Order descending. See, now the data is coming in the descending order of the salary, highest to lowest. So these two people have the same salary, so it is being blank. These two people also have the same salary, and these three people have the same salary. Right? So Aditi, what we wanted to achieve was we wanted to sort the data on the basis of salary now, that too in the descending order. So that is something that we have done over here. Okay. Is it clear to all of you? Before that, sorry, when I was defining that order part, like how do we sort the data, was that clear to you? Like how we have sorted the data? Okay. See, like, what you do is, if you have to sort the data using the proc print, right? If you have to sort, you have to print the sorted report using the proc print. There are two steps that are involved. First, you have to use proc sort in order to sort the data, and then you run proc print, correct? So that becomes a little bit of a lengthy process. But when you are working with the help of this, where you are using the proc report, you just have to mention order over here, and you do not have to proc sort that data set. So I mentioned order descending. So now the data set is now my report, the output that I'm getting, this is coming in the descending order of salary. Okay, this is what I was explaining. Width is Vishay. Basically, I am saying that I'm just defining the length, the complete length. That is where, you know, what I want to say is that maximum character should be this. Dot 2 means 2 decimal places. So the output will come up to 2 decimal places. If you mention 0, so that output will come up to 0 decimal places. That is what the dot 2 means. If you will see over here, you are getting dot 00 up to 2 decimal places. Okay. If I make it dot 1, the output will come up till 1 decimal place. So it is now coming up till 1 decimal place only, right? So Vishay, I just used it to explain you that, you know, how we can use this over here. So that was just the only purpose. So just to explain you that features that we have. Okay. Now, you know, what we will be doing is, so you're saying, so maybe your question, how do we mix multiple sorts? See, multiple sorting is like what we'll do in this is, so we have this job code. Let us define order over here. Right? Is this what you were saying? So you get the output now in the ascending order of job code and descending order of employee salary. The same sequence, you have to mention it up over here. Okay. So now what we will be doing is, now, you know, something interesting that we will be seeing up over here. Now just take a look at this complete data, right? The crew data set. Okay, now what I want to do is, see, right now, up till now, what I did was, I was printing the complete data, right? जो data मेरे पास data set में है, मैं वैसे का वैसा उसको output में print करा रहा हूँ, right? That is what I am doing over here. Now what I want to do is, I actually want to create a quick summary report, right? Summary report, like, you know, you create using your pivots, right? A pivot table use करा होगा आप लोगों ने, right? You create a pivot, you use pivot table in your Excel, and you want to create a quick summary based upon that. So what do I mean by that is, say suppose I want to see कि मैंने location, हर location में total कितनी salary दी, right? कैरी में total salary कितनी दी, मैंने फ्रैंकफर्ट में total salary कितनी दी, और मैंने लंदन में total salary कितनी दी. I want to see a quick summary report onto my data. So what I can do is, I can do that as well with the help of proc report. Okay, now what I will do is, I will be creating we will be generating summary reports. So let us see that, how do we generate it? Okay, so again, we will simply write proc print, proc report. Okay. Data equals to DSP-55 dot crew. Okay, this is what I have defined over here. Now what I will do is, say suppose I want to print, I only want to print the columns that is the location and salary. Now these are the two variables that I want to print in the output. Now what I will do over here is I will say define where I have defined this location. Okay, on the location I'll just have to define one small little thing, that is group. I will say group the data based upon the salary. Okay, that's it. And let us run this report and see the output now. Something is going wrong. Sorry, spelling of define are correct. We have this group. Yeah, that is I only. It is just looking due to that. It is I only. Okay. So define location. We have used location and salary. Okay, so to define for this numeric variable also we have to define it, that all the variables that we have used, so just that all the variables have to be defined, right? So the location also and the salary also. Now if you see, I can see this carry, the total salary is this, Frankfurt the total salary is this, and likewise you can see it for all the three locations. Okay, can you now print a quick summary report? I want to see, like in each location, what was the total salary that I gave to all the different job codes, right? How much total salary I gave to pilots in carry, then flight attendant 1 in carry, likewise. Okay, this is something that you all have to create. Okay, you just have to create a quick summary report where I should be able to see the total salaries based upon location as well as the job code. please, anyone who creates it, please share the code. You have to showcase the total quick summary report based where you have to showcase the total based upon the location and the job code. Right, so if I'll just do it for you all, so what I'll do is the same code has to be used. So location, after the location, I want the job code, right? This same line will be repeated again. Define job code. That's it. Right. So Agadi, what you have shared is correct. So if I'll just do this and run it. Oops, this word also. So now I can see it for each location, for each job code, what is the salary that we have. Okay, so shall I move ahead? Sameer, so you are asking it still does not give you total salary for looking. I mean, you are asking about the grand total, like what was the overall total that you asking about that? So we're getting the, so for that, you know what you do is you can use that. So yeah, so that what we can do is, if you want to achieve that also, what you will do is you will have to use a command R break in that case. Okay, you will use the command R break. Now R break is a command that can actually help you out in in getting that the overall the totals, the grand totals that you want to print over here in this output. So if you say R break, okay, and you will say after. So there are two things that we use, after and before. So R break after summarize. Okay, and let us execute this. So I'll just tell you what I've done. Just give me a moment. So if you will now see the output, see you are getting a total as well, right? Overall total. So you just have to add a line that is R break after and summarize. So now this after and before is something that is used whether you want to print the total in the last of the report or in the starting of the report. Okay, if you write before, okay, if you write before over here, so it will print the total at the starting. See, now the total is coming at the top. But if you write after, the total comes at the bottom. That is what the difference between this is. So after and before. So generally, we print the output only in the last. So it should always be after. And then what you can do is you can also put some lines to separate out, right? Say suppose you want to, you want to kind of see, R break, it is, you do not have any sort of a, like the full form of this. This is just like a command that you have. This is a statement that you have, R break. So this is just used to print these grand totals that you have in your report. Okay, this is just used for that purpose. R break after and you put summarize. So it will give you the grand total in the last. So, subtotals, it will not print the proc report, Samir. So, if you want to print the subtotals, so for that, you will have to kind of use the page break in that case. So, that you have to go by the proc prints, via proc print, where you will have to use the page break and you will be able to print the subtotals and final total at that end of it. Okay, and the total that you are printing over here, what you can also do is you can put some lines on this. If you put DOL, right? DOL stands for, you want to print some double lines. Okay, you want to print a double line above the total. That is stands for DOL. So I'll just share that list with you. Just give me a moment. See, if I'll execute this, see the output. Double line. DOL. Wait. This is, I'll just have to check this out. This is not even this. This I'll just check you and let update you on this. So this is just to add the lines above the total, right? So what will happen is the output that you are getting. So it will just add some lines over here. Okay, it will just add a quick the upper line over here just for the differentiation. Okay, that is what I'm trying to showcase. So let me just check it out why it is not working. So I'll just check that and get back to you on this. Okay, this DUL stands for the line under the total, right? Then you have DOL that prints a double line over the total. You have OL that stands for one single line over the total, and you have similarly you have UL, one single line under the total. So we have some abbreviations and commands that we can use just to print that line, just as a separating line between that total and the final output that you have. Maybe it is not printing it because I think I have set it up my solution window into that. So see, now I am just now printing in the this window over here in the output window, so you can see it. So over here it is printing that line. It was in the HTML output, so it was not coming up over there. Okay, so if I just change that line to DOL, that means double line over the total. Okay, it will give double line over the line. So if I'll just print this now, so we'll see the output. So it is coming above that total. So that is what the problem was happening. Okay. So I just changed that output view. It was coming in the HTML by default. So that is what I just changed. Are we all clear on this? Anyone, any questions, any doubts?
Hi, sir. Mohsen this side.
Yeah, Mohsen.
Sir, actually, I am getting pilot 2 and 3 for in the output for every location.
Actually, in your data set, I think in my data set that pilot 2 and pilot 3 are deleted. So that is why I'm not getting those pilot 2 and pilot 3. You would be getting 6 values, right? Flight attendant 1,
Yeah.
2, 3,
Yes, sir.
and pilot 1, 2. So yeah, I do not have that pilots in my data set. So pilot 2 and 3, that is why they are not coming. So your
Okay,
output
sir.
is correct. There is no problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So the next thing that we will now see over here is, now that is more interesting part of it, that is creating some visualizations. Okay, creating some charts. So you can create the charts in your SAS, right? So your bar chart, pie chart. So different type of charts can be created in this SAS. You can create your horizontal bar charts, vertical bar charts. So likewise, you could create in your R and Python as well using the ggplot library or the Seaborn library. Likewise, so let us see how we will create some charts over here. Okay, so there are basically two type of procedures that we use. One procedure is called as G chart. One procedure that we have is G chart, the graphical chart. Okay, and another procedure that we use is the proc plot in order to create the charts that you want to create. Okay, and it is very simple. When you are using proc G charts, say for example, you have to specify your data set, you have to specify your chart, and then you have to specify your variable. That is how you can very quickly create your charts as well. Okay, now say suppose I want to create normal, so I'll just create very basic chart over here for a simple understanding. So I'm saying proc G chart data is equals to DSP-55 dot crew. So I'm still using that crew data set only. What I'll do is I want to create a vertical bar chart. So I will say V bar. V bar stands for vertical bar chart. I want to create a vertical bar chart for job code. Okay. And I'll run it. That's it. See. So right away a chart will be created for us. So you can see now flight attendant. So it is giving you the frequency, how many flight attendant 1 you have, flight attendant 2 you have, 3, and pilot 1. Okay, please create this chart. Let me know if you are having any troubles in this. So this is a vertical bar chart. If similarly, if you will use H bar, it will create a horizontal bar chart, right? If instead of V you use H, it will be a horizontal bar chart. Right, so you can see this horizontal bar chart now. If you want to create a pie chart, you will simply write pi over here. So if I just copy this and I write bar the pi over here instead of this, so it will create a pie chart for you. You can see pie chart is created. Okay. So now say suppose the bar charts that you created, right? So over there, what was happening was you were showing basically it was automatically showing you the the count of that. Say suppose I want to create a chart. I want to let me copy this. I want to create a vertical bar chart. Okay, I want to create a vertical bar chart on the job code. But what I want to do is I do not want to showcase the frequency, but I want to showcase the sum of salary, right? In which job code I gave the highest total salary. So what I will do is I will say, I will put this and I will define that somewhere. Okay, so this is somewhere. This is the name of that. This is a function that is identifies that it helps you in identifying that you are doing some analysis on a basis of a numeric variable, right? I say somewhere on the basis of salary, I want to see the total of salary. Then you will have to define type equals to sum. Okay, you will have to define type equals to sum over here. Sorry, this somewhere equals to salary. Some variable equals to salary. Type equals to sum. So if you say type equals to sum, it will give you the total of the salaries. Okay, we will take a look at this chart now. That is giving you the total of the salary sum. You see, all these 3 or 4 levels that I had. So in people, if you have more categories, so you will be getting pilot 2 and pilot 3 also. So I can see highest salary was given in the flight attendant 2. If you want to find, instead of sum, if you want to find the mean, you can define the mean as well over here. Type equals to mean. So this will not change. This will remain the same. So you can define the mean or sum, whatever you want to calculate, you can just define it over here. And based upon that, it will create the chart for you. Okay, now all of you please create a pie chart to showcase the total salaries by job code. Okay, create a pie chart to showcase the total salaries by job code. Done? So let us create it. Nothing much I have to change in this. I'll just define it like this. Okay, right. So you have created this. So Aman, I'll just copy your chart only. So this the code that you have shared. Okay. So I am saying DSP-55 using 55 over here, right? So the one you have created, this is perfectly fine, right? This is the thing that I need to do. If I'll execute this, it should create a pie chart for me. So what you can do is right now, if you see these salaries that you see, right? These salaries are not coming in a proper format. So on the charts also, what you can do is if you want to apply the formats, you can apply it over here as well, right? So if you apply a format over here, that format salary dollar 12.2. Okay. So what will happen is output that you will get over there, you will get that salary in that formatting. See, now the output is coming with that proper dollar signs and everything. So now if you see right in this chart that I have created, if you will notice this flight attendant 2 and flight attendant 3, right? These are having the high salaries. And in fact, flight attendant 2 has the highest salary. So what do you, if you want to highlight this thing, say suppose you want to highlight that thing. So what you can do is, you can actually use a function that is called as explode. If you will say explode, okay, and you mention that you want to explode, that is, what is that? That was flight attendant 2, FLT 82. See, what will happen is in that chart, that pie section will actually come as separated out. See, so I've exploded it. So it is coming as a little bit out of this chart. So I'm just saying that it should come little out from this chart. Automatic function as in no. So basically these are more like static charts that we are creating. So you actually have to manually see it and create that out of it, like what needs to get pulled out. Okay. So this is how you can create your quick charts if you want, right? So I just wanted to show you some basic charts, the way you can create them up, right? So that is what the whole purpose was. So what you can do is you can try creating these charts from the the exercise file that I have shared. So there are a lot of questions that you will find related to these the questions, the charts that we are creating. Now what I'll do is let me show you some another chart as well. Okay, just one or two more charts, not much. Okay, now what we'll do is let us try to create some say suppose I want to create a scatter plot. Okay, I want to create that chart over here. So let us see how we will do it. So Akriti, explode is something that will just whatever the category that you would have mentioned, it will explode it out from there. So I mentioned explode flight attendant 2, it moved that category out of it. That is what it is doing. Okay. Now similarly, like we have used the procedure G chart, we have a procedure that is called as your proc G plot. Okay, graphics plot. So if you will use that proc G plot, it is something that is used to plot, you're trying to create some, say suppose your, a scatter plot kind of a chart. You can use that chart in that case. Okay, it will help you create a scatter plot. So let us see which data set we can use in order to create that up. Yeah, so you can use slide 114. So it has a lot of numerical data into it. So what I'll do is let us try to create a chart between boarded and the date, right? How many people boarded on a particular date, right? So this is something that I want to create as a chart, for example. So let us create this. What I'll do is I'll come up over here, proc gplot, data equals to DSP-55 dot flight 114. Okay. Then what I'll do is I simply have to define plot, and the plot what I will do is I will mention out boarded asterisk your date. I want to use this. You see on this axis you are getting the date, and over here you are getting how many people boarded. So on 1st March, how many people boarded? Similarly, 2nd March, 3rd March, up to 16th March. Then you have all the dates being coming up over here. And you can see that kind of a chart that has been created for you. So if in case you have both, say suppose if you want to compare and create this chart, let us say suppose between we have capacity, miles, and freight. I mean you can pick up any numerical variables and you can try to create a chart between them. Yes, so the axis will change, right? If you just interchange them, so this code that you have written, so this is like X, sorry, this is Y and this is X. That is how it is behaving. So if you make it date and boarded, it will change. Right, so getting all the dates over here and boarded people over here. So the chart has changed in that case. Okay, if you want to change the shapes, right? For example, you are getting this shape over here as the plus sign. If you want to change the shape, you can also change the shapes over here. So for that, what we have a small option for that is called as symbol. Okay, we have a small code for that is symbol. So if you say symbol, you can define value equals to square. Okay, what this will do is it will show you over here the shapes will change in the form of the square in this. Right, like you have that PCH statement that you have in your R, right? When you're creating a plot, so you say PCH equal to 1, 2, 3, and the shape changes. So same is the concept over here. Instead of PCH, you use symbol over here. Symbol, your shape equals to value equal to square. So you have the numbers also. With the help of number also, you can identify that. Okay. And there is one last thing that I would just like to tell you for this session today. There is I equals to join. See, what I've done is I've simply used a command I equals to join. What join does is it will just connect all the points to one another. That is what this join command does, right? So I've said I equals to join. It is just that it will connect all the points to one another over here. Right, class? So how are you all finding this SAS, right, as compared to R and Python? Any reviews? How do you feel is compared to R and Python? Okay, much easier, right? So yeah, the coding is comparatively very easy if you compare it with the R and Python, right? And its interface is also much more user friendly. If I'll say, you can clearly see everything right in front of you. You do not have to hustle here and there. Yes, Vishay, you can do that. You can do your modeling also. I mean, you have the proc reg, proc cluster. So you have a different procedures that are available in order to do that, all sort of different modelings that you do in your R and your Python. So everything is doable over here. Okay. So, in the next session, we will be starting up with the concept of little more advanced SAS, right? We will be learning about how we can create multiple data sets from one single data set, how we will be using some, the concept of cumulative summations using the data sets itself. And then we will be learning about the SQL, how you can write your SQL query in your SAS plus the macros. Macros means just a little bit of an automation that you can do so that you do not have to write or modify the codes again and again. So you can create some quick macros as well. So we will be discussing on all those parts. Okay. So that is something that we'll do next week. So that's all for today, I think. So let's connect next week and continue from here. Okay, class. So see you all next week. So that's it for today. So have a great evening ahead. Thank you, guys.